Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, these days it's very difficult to find chart analysts who are willing to make bearish predictions about XRP price. It's very hard to find these people. It's not that they don't exist. It's that, look, think back throughout all of 2024 and frankly the years leading up to it. Negative price predictions and expectations about XRP were a dime a dozen. But then we got proven correct and XRP rocketed to the upside, and all of these analysts, they shut their stupid little face holes, didn't they? They stopped being so bold, and they missed the biggest run in this crypto cycle for large cap coins. XRP is the #1 performer since the election. They just missed it. Some people, though, will still continue to say stupid things about XRP because they do suffer from XRP derangement syndrome. Now, I think that the best is yet ahead. This cycle specifically, I do believe that XRP is going to finally enter price discovery and melt faces. But I'm certainly not afraid to share negative sounding perspectives on the channel. I say bring it. If you want to be on record and just fully displaying your XRP derangement syndrome, happy to plaster your thoughts all over here. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Here's the headline from Cointelegraph, which has spent the last decade crapping all over XRP, saying untruths and way more frequently than not sharing stupid price expectations about XRP that just haven't panned out. But here's the headline. XRP to revisit its $1 realized price? These charts paint a bearish picture. Ooh, I'm afraid, except for I'm not at all. I'm definitely not at all. Reads as follows. XRP has bounced nearly 30% after a 4-month low of $1.61 amid rising tariff tensions. However, the rebound may be short-lived. Oh no! As technical patterns and on-chain signals now point to a deeper correction ahead. Okay, folks. If you're talking about XRP in a vacuum just behaving poorly because reasons, get the hell out of here. Like, I'll share your opinion if you think that. But unless you're talking about like the whole world of crypto falling apart, well, yeah, then XRP would go down with everything else. But if you're talking about just XRP because reasons going down, you lose me. You absolutely lose me. This market moves in tandem. XRP is still playing catch up from being artificially suppressed by the United States government via the SEC. It ain't done playing catch up here, folks. Anyway, piece continues though. XRP is forming a classic bearish reversal pattern that could see its price falling by at least 40% in the coming weeks. Dubbed inverse cup and handle, IC and H, the pattern forms when the price rounds off in a curved descent, the cup, followed by a brief consolidation phase, the handle, all atop a common neckline support level. And so they've got the schematic on your screen right here. The pattern is confirmed by a breakdown stage where the price breaks decisively below support and falls by as much as the pattern's maximum height. As of April 19th, XRP had entered the pattern's handle formation phase, eyeing a decisive close below the neckline support at around $2. In this case, the primary downside target will likely be around $1.24, almost 40% below current prices. Now, folks, here's where I have trouble with this type of stuff, other than what I already just stated. These people, like, it's just, they're consistently bearish on XRP. So many of them. I mean, like, if you keep saying the same, like, if you keep consistently predicting XRP is just not going to do well, you're going to be wrong the vast majority of the time. But I will acknowledge, if you just keep saying bearish stuff, and just by dumb luck, eventually you're going to get something right. But, so I'm skeptical of this, and I question the degree to which some of these people are actually genuine, because I do think a lot of these people suffer from XRP derangement syndrome here. But, again, I doubt that is going to happen unless the whole of crypto has another meltdown. And then, again, fine. I don't know why we should expect that here. And then we also had, by the way, Peter Brandt, everyone's favorite sufferer of XRP derangement syndrome. So this guy, I mean, he's got how many followers now? 800 something? Okay, 792,400 followers. He's one of the most famous analysts in all of crypto. He hates XRP. He has been consistently wrong about every price move for XRP in its entire history. He has gotten all of it wrong. All of it. Every single move that matters. Wrong. He didn't see this most recent breakout either. And then he started briefly, for the first time, starting to make some sense, saying that he did think XRP was going to go even higher. And then he just flipped bearish again. Like, he can't help himself. He is so consistently wrong on XRP. He has a terrible track record in charting XRP. But he has a great track record charting anything else, including Bitcoin. So his bias seeps into his analysis with XRP because he has XRP derangement syndrome. An otherwise intelligent man, his brain turns to applesauce when he starts talking about XRP. Like, that's just what happens here. You hate to see it. And so here he's calling for XRP to end this year perhaps as low as basically half the price of where it is now. So this is the market cap. This is an XRP market cap chart industry here. So you're talking, he's projecting here the market cap for XRP basically at half of where it is now, which means the price also close to $1 based on the current circulating supply. Now, guys, that would be buck wild. So, couple things on this. It depends on how high XRP goes, because a lot can happen before the end of the year. What if we do hit a cycle peak and XRP hits double-digit price action, but then it majorly corrects? So, I mean, if you look at the upper target here, I mean, that means that what? It would bottom basically around $2. Maybe that's not crazy. If XRP is going into double-digit price action and then has an 80% pullback, which historically is not a weird thing, okay, fine. What about everything that happens in between? What about that? How many of us are going to get life-changing wealth? But still, so like, if XRP does hit $10, is it really going to pull back 90%? 90%. Is that where we're going with here? Because I'm just saying, like, it didn't even do that last cycle, and it was under attack by the United States government. Like, it peaked at $2 and then briefly hit 28 cents in June of 2022. Briefly. So, yeah, big percentage pullback. That's actually normal in crypto. But 90%? Skeptical. I'm very skeptical of this. But that's what Peter Brandt's putting out there. I just don't think this thing is going to age well. I think it's going to age like a fine milk. That is absolutely what I'm expecting here. And then we also had this, going back to the Cointelegraph article here. XRP's inverse cup and handle pattern is unfolding in line with its historical price behavior, signaling that its 2025 rally may have topped out. That's right, folks. XRP, the strongest coin in all of crypto. And I mean, if you're looking at large caps, out of the top 100, and it literally is number one right now, it's topped out. Well, I'll tell you what, if it's topped out, then probably everything else is topped out. But I don't believe that. You know what's actually been happening? Well, XRP hit its all-time high of $3.40 months ago, and then it went back down, and it's consolidating safely, at the time I record this anyway, safely above $2, despite very brief deviations below that in price a couple times. This is normal. I'm not a chart guy. You don't have to be a chart guy to understand this very basic concept. That is incredible strength. And then so you got the sack to say here on the internet that you actually believe that it may have topped out. That was it. So XRP consolidated for close to 7 years, only to briefly break above an all-time high, and then that was it, and it's all done, the game's over. And that would also mean this is the first time in history where there's a bull run where XRP only had one, in a shorter time frame, one major burst effectively. And you could count, like, if you look at what happened in November through the point where it finally hit its all-time high over a span of a couple months, you could count that as effectively one hurrah there. So you're telling me that even though each of the last two cycles, XRP then consolidated for half a year and then had a final blow-off top, it's just not going to this time. So history just not going to rhyme. I'm just telling you, look, if you think that crypto is going to take off and XRP isn't, you lost your damn mind as far as I'm concerned. This does not make any sense. Then they say here, for instance, the cryptocurrency saw sharp pullbacks to its aggregated realized price following major surges in previous cycles, most notably in 2018 and 2021. For traders, the realized price serves as a psychological benchmark representing the average price at which the XRP supply was last moved. When the market price trades well above this level, most holders are in profit, which can encourage complacency or profit taking. Conversely, if the price nears the realized price, fear of losses tends to rise, and selling pressure can intensify. In 2025, XRP surged past $3.20 before losing steam, repeating patterns seen in past bull to bear cycles. Do you see this? Look at the negativity here. I just don't believe for a second this is going to pan out well for him. It's just no. They say the current realized price at around $1, a likely downside target in 2025, down about 50% from the current prices. And then they say, interestingly, XRP's $1 realized price target is closer to its 200-week EMA, the blue wave in the chart below, at 81 cents, a bear market target discussed in Cointelegraph's analysis in late March. Well, look, Cointelegraph has displayed so much damn bias over the last decade, I cannot take them serious on most things XRP. What am I going to do with this? This is complete and utter garbage here. I mean, you guys can tell me what you think here. Again, I'm not afraid to highlight this stuff here, but I got to laugh at it a little bit. Why should I take them seriously? I mean, especially like I said in the past about Peter Brandt. He's been so disastrously wrong that even if he got something right, I just got to ask, like, why should I take him seriously? It's like the boy who cried wolf. Why should this time he be taken seriously? He's just not a serious figure when he's talking about XRP. Like he just isn't. So they can think whatever they want here, but I don't think any of this is going to age particularly well. At some point, market's going to turn around. We already know that global liquidity is increasing, and so we know that Bitcoin and altcoins have a lag time of 10 to 12 weeks, and we're getting to the point where, if history rhymes with itself, prices will start going. Now, there is that question mark with the tariff, because I think that needs to go away first, and, you could have some deadlock price action longer than you otherwise would, and fair enough, but still, I personally believe that problem will go away. It's going to get resolved one way or another, even if it takes a little bit longer than we'd like. It's still coming. These people, folks. Some of them are just insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.